Imagine this. You spend your entire life trying to fit in, chasing approval, molding yourself to meet expectations that were never truly yours. You seek validation, fear judgment, and measure your worth by how others perceive you. But what if everything you've been taught about caring too much is actually what's holding you back? What if the key to real happiness, confidence, and success isn't in controlling everything, but in letting go? Centuries ago, Michel de Montaigne, a thinker far ahead of his time, explored this paradox deeply. His philosophy offers a path to inner freedom, self-acceptance, and the art of living without unnecessary burdens. He challenged the very foundations of identity, success, and societal pressure. And by the end of this journey, you'll understand why. The moment you stop seeking external validation, everything in your life begins to fall into place. Think about it. How much of your stress and frustration comes from trying to meet expectations that aren't even yours? How often do you hold yourself back out of fear of judgment? How much of your energy is wasted worrying about things that, in the grand scheme of life, have little meaning? Montaigne's philosophy reveals a simple yet powerful truth. The more we let go of external pressures, the more we align with our authentic selves. He believed that life is unpredictable, perfection is an illusion, and self-acceptance is the highest form of wisdom. But here's where most people get it wrong. Not caring doesn't mean being indifferent, lazy, or unmotivated. It doesn't mean withdrawing from life or neglecting responsibility. It means freeing yourself from the constant need for approval, the fear of rejection, and the exhausting habit of overanalyzing every action. It means living on your own terms, being present in the moment, and realizing that you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Montaigne spent much of his life reflecting on human behavior. He observed how people become prisoners of their own minds, trapped in cycles of worry, self-doubt, and insecurity. He questioned why we let others' opinions dictate our choices, why we cling to control when life is inherently uncertain, why we chase a version of success that was never truly ours to begin with. And most importantly, he asked, what would happen if we simply stopped caring about these things? When you stop caring about being perfect, you embrace your flaws. When you stop caring about external validation, you start living for yourself. When you stop trying to control everything, you allow life to unfold naturally. And here's the paradox. The less you care about proving yourself, the more powerful you become. Think of the most confident, charismatic people you know. Are they the ones constantly seeking approval, over-explaining themselves, trying to be liked by everyone? Or are they the ones who seem at ease, unbothered by trivial worries, and unapologetically themselves? Montaigne understood this truth long before modern psychology confirmed it. People are drawn to authenticity. The moment you stop seeking validation, when you embrace your imperfections and trust yourself, you become naturally more attractive, not just socially, but in every aspect of life. When you detach from the fear of failure or judgment, you gain something far more valuable: freedom. The freedom to take risks without overthinking. The freedom to express yourself without hesitation. The freedom to simply exist without constantly measuring your worth by external standards. And here's where it gets fascinating. Once you let go of unnecessary worries, not only do you find peace, but your life actually starts to improve. Relationships become more genuine. Opportunities arise effortlessly. Decisions become easier, because they are based on what you truly want, not what you think you should want. This is the essence of Montaigne's philosophy. He believed that most of our suffering comes from resisting reality, from trying to force life into a mold that doesn't fit. But the moment you release that resistance, everything begins to align. Think about this. How many times have you hesitated to speak your mind, afraid of what others might think? How often do you replay conversations in your head, worrying about how you were perceived? How much of your life has been shaped by expectations that were never truly yours? Montaigne invites us to step away from these self-imposed limitations, to embrace uncertainty, to accept imperfection, to stop letting fear dictate our choices. And this is just the beginning. As we dive deeper into his philosophy, we'll uncover practical ways to apply this mindset to your life. Ways that will help you break free from mental barriers, make confident decisions, and truly experience the freedom that comes from letting go. Michel de Montaigne's philosophy is not just an abstract idea. It is a practical guide to transforming the way you experience life. And now, we take a step further. What happens when you fully embrace this mindset? What changes when you stop chasing approval, worrying about every possible outcome, and allowing fear to dictate your actions? Imagine waking up one morning and realizing most of the pressures weighing you down were never real to begin with. The rules you've been following, the expectations you've been trying to meet, and the fears that have kept you stuck, they were all illusions. Illusions created by society, conditioning, and your own mind. Montaigne understood that human beings are naturally anxious. We overthink, try to predict the future, and struggle against the unknown. But what if the key to happiness isn't in solving every problem, but in surrendering to the fact that some things are simply beyond our control? One of Montaigne's most profound lessons is this: the world will never fully understand you, and that is perfectly okay. Think about it. How much energy do we waste trying to explain ourselves, justify our choices, or prove our worth to people who may never truly see us? We hold back our opinions to avoid conflict. We suppress our desires to fit in. We look outside ourselves for validation, when in reality, the only approval that truly matters is our own. Montaigne believed that much of our suffering comes from caring too much about things that don't serve us. He observed how people tie themselves in knots over petty concerns, grudges, fears, insecurities that add no real value to their lives. But when you step back, you see the truth. Most of these worries are insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Have you ever noticed that the moment you stop obsessing over a problem, a solution naturally appears? Or that when you stop chasing someone's attention, they suddenly become more interested? This is no coincidence, it's a reflection of a deeper truth. When you let go, life flows. The problem is, most people resist this idea. They believe that if they stop caring, they'll lose motivation. That letting go means giving up. But this is a misunderstanding. Not caring doesn't mean apathy. It doesn't mean laziness. It means shifting your focus to what truly matters and freeing yourself from the weight of unnecessary burdens. Montaigne encouraged us to embrace imperfection, not just in ourselves, but in the world around us. He understood that striving for absolute control is an exhausting, never-ending battle. Life is unpredictable. No matter how much we plan, prepare, or try to manipulate outcomes, there will always be things beyond our reach. So, why not surrender to this truth? Why not accept that mistakes, failures, and uncertainties are simply part of existence? Consider this. How much lighter would you feel if you stopped trying to control every detail of your life? If you stopped overanalyzing every decision? If you stopped fearing failure and instead saw it as just another step in your journey? Montaigne reminds us that every great thinker, leader, and artist in history has faced failure, rejection, and misunderstanding. Yet they did not allow these things to define them. They moved forward, unbothered by the opinions of the crowd, because they understood a simple truth. True success is not found in external validation. It is found in living authentically. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When you adopt this mindset, people begin to notice. You become more confident, more magnetic, and more in control of your own life. Not because you're forcing anything to happen, but because you are no longer wasting energy on things that do not serve you. Ever wonder why some people seem effortlessly successful while others struggle despite working tirelessly? The difference isn't always talent, intelligence, or even hard work. It's mindset. Those who thrive understand that detachment from unnecessary worries allows them to focus on what truly matters. Montaigne's wisdom teaches us that the more we release, the more we gain. When we stop fearing failure, we take more risks. When we stop seeking approval, we become more authentic. When we stop trying to control everything, we create space for unexpected opportunities. This is why the philosophy of not caring, when applied correctly, is not about giving up. It's about gaining freedom, the freedom to choose where to direct your energy, to focus only on what brings meaning, and to refuse to be held back by distractions that never truly mattered in the first place. Think about your own life for a moment. How much of your stress comes from worrying about what others think? How many times have you hesitated to pursue something you truly wanted because you were afraid of judgment? How often do you replay past mistakes in your mind, as if punishing yourself could somehow change them? Montaigne's philosophy frees us from these mental chains. He reminds us, the past is gone, the future is uncertain, and the only thing we truly own is the present moment. And when you fully embrace this truth, everything begins to shift. But there's still more to uncover, because in the next part, we'll explore a surprising insight. Detachment, rather than leading to isolation, actually creates deeper, more meaningful connections. There's a strange paradox in life. The moment you stop needing something, it often comes effortlessly. When you stop chasing approval, people respect you more. When you stop fearing failure, opportunities arise. When you stop trying to control everything, life begins to flow in ways you never expected. This is one of the most profound lessons in Montaigne's philosophy. Detachment is not an escape. It is a path to deeper fulfillment. By letting go of the need to force outcomes, you open yourself to the natural rhythm of life. And in doing so, you begin to experience something truly remarkable, a sense of peace, power, and connection. But here's the question. If detachment is so powerful, why do most people struggle to embrace it? The answer is simple. We've been conditioned to believe that control equals security. We're taught that if we try hard enough, plan carefully enough, and worry intensely enough, we can shape the world to our liking. But Montaigne reminds us, this is an illusion. No amount of control can eliminate uncertainty. No amount of planning can prevent the unexpected. No amount of worrying can change reality. Instead of resisting life, he invites us to embrace it exactly as it is, with all its unpredictability, imperfection, and chaos. Think about your relationships. How many conflicts arise from unmet expectations? How much suffering is caused by the desire to make people act a certain way? How often do we try to control the opinions, actions, and emotions of others, only to end up frustrated, disappointed, or hurt? Montaigne understood that true connection isn't about control, it's about acceptance. The more you allow others to be themselves, without trying to change them or force them into your expectations, the deeper and more genuine your relationships become. This is why those who practice detachment often experience greater love, respect, and admiration. They don't suffocate others with demands or expectations. They don't need constant reassurance. They simply exist in a state of calm confidence, allowing others to come and go freely. And ironically, this makes them more attractive, more respected, and more valued. Have you ever noticed that the people who are most desperate for attention often receive the least of it, and that those who are at peace with themselves naturally draw others in? This is the power of letting go. Montaigne believed that the way we relate to others is a direct reflection of the way we relate to ourselves. If we constantly seek validation, it means we haven't fully accepted ourselves. If we fear being alone, it means we haven't become comfortable in our own company. If we need others to act a certain way to feel secure, it means we haven't cultivated our own inner stability. But the moment you shift your focus inward, when you stop trying to control people, when you stop fearing loneliness, when you stop measuring your worth by external standards, you become truly free. Think about it. How much of your emotional energy is spent reacting to others? How often do you let someone's opinion ruin your day? How many times have you held on to resentment, anger, or disappointment, only to realize later that it served no purpose? Montaigne teaches us that peace comes from within, not from the approval of others. And once you understand this, your entire approach to life changes. Imagine walking through the world unshaken by criticism, facing uncertainty without fear, loving and appreciating people without feeling the need to control them. This is what happens when you stop caring about things that don't truly matter. And here's the most important part. Letting go doesn't mean withdrawing from life. It doesn't mean becoming indifferent or emotionless. It means engaging with the world fully, but without attachment, without unnecessary worry, and without the need to force outcomes. Montaigne's philosophy is about balance. It's about caring deeply about what truly matters, your values, your purpose, your inner peace, while releasing what drains your energy and serves no real purpose. So ask yourself, what are you holding on to that no longer serves you? What expectations, fears, or attachments are weighing you down? And what would happen if you simply let them go? As we move into the final part of this journey, we will uncover the ultimate realization. Why embracing uncertainty, imperfection, and detachment doesn't just lead to inner peace, but to a life of deeper meaning, success, and fulfillment. At this point, you might be wondering, if letting go is so powerful, why don't more people embrace it? Why do so many remain trapped in the endless cycle of anxiety, approval seeking, and control? The answer is fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of failure. Fear of what might happen if we stop micromanaging every aspect of our lives. Society has conditioned us to believe that if we loosen our grip, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, when you stop caring about the things that don't truly matter, everything falls into place. Montaigne's philosophy is not about recklessness, it is about wisdom. He teaches us that by letting go of unnecessary worries, we gain clarity. By releasing control, we gain freedom. And by embracing uncertainty, we gain a life of deeper meaning and fulfillment. Think about the greatest moments of your life, the ones that truly mattered. Were they meticulously planned down to the last detail? Or did they unfold spontaneously when you least expected them? Some of the most beautiful things in life cannot be forced. Love, inspiration, creativity, even success. They often appear not when you chase them, but when you create space for them to emerge naturally. Consider the artist who stops worrying about whether their work will be accepted, and in that freedom creates something truly extraordinary. The entrepreneur who stops fearing failure, takes bold risks, and ends up changing an entire industry. The person who stops searching desperately for love, and in the space of self-acceptance, effortlessly meets the right person. This is the paradox of life. What you hold on to too tightly often slips away, but what you release often returns in greater ways than you ever imagined. Montaigne reminds us, life is not meant to be a struggle. Yes, there will be challenges, setbacks, and uncertainties, but fighting them, resisting them, obsessing over them, only adds to our suffering. Instead, he encourages us to flow with life, to accept its imperfections, to laugh at its absurdities, to find joy, even in the chaos. Because here is the ultimate realization. You do not need to control everything to be happy. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You do not need to fear uncertainty, because life itself is uncertain. And that is what makes it beautiful. When you stop seeking external validation, you become truly confident. When you stop fearing failure, you become unstoppable. When you stop trying to control every little detail, you allow space for magic to happen. And that is what Montaigne understood centuries ago. Wisdom is not about conquering life. It is about learning to dance with it. So as you move forward, ask yourself, what can you let go of today? What unnecessary weight have you been carrying that no longer serves you? And what would your life look like if you simply trusted that things will fall into place? Because the moment you stop caring about the wrong things, the right things find their way to you. And that is the true power of Montaigne's philosophy. Thanks for watching.